So I'm super excited. I just imported a rare JDM station wagon and it just arrived at the port today. So this was a vehicle that was never sold here in the States, so I can't wait to go pick it up. All right, let's go. So I'm a huge fan of Japanese domestic cars, especially vehicles that never made it to our shores here, kind of like a forbidden fruit, I guess. And you might remember that the first car I ever imported to the States was my 1993 Toyota Chaser JZX90, and I guess I got the itch to import something again. Whoops. So a couple months back, I bid on a 1997 Toyota Caldina GT-T, and I actually won the thing. Went through the whole process of importing it. I just got the notice that it arrived at the port today. We'll talk about the significance of the Caldina GT-T in just a bit, but first let's go grab a U-Haul trailer and go pick up my new sporty JDM wagon. So here it is, my 1997 Toyota Caldina GT-T. The Caldina was launched in the early 90s as an answer to the growing demand for practical mid-size wagons in Japan. And for this second gen, Toyota decided to take this no-nonsense wagon and kick it up a few notches with the tricked out GT-T. In my opinion, the GT-T is one of the coolest sleeper wagons to come out of the 1990s. On the surface, it really just kind of looks like a family wagon, with only a few indicators that there might be something spicy going on. This was Toyota's way of mixing family practicality with rally-inspired performance, and honestly, I think they nailed it. Under the hood, it's got the legendary 3S GTE engine, the same turbocharged 2-liter inline-4 that came in the Celica GT4. So that means around 256 horsepower. And it came with Toyota's viscous coupling all-wheel drive system, so it handles way better than you'd expect from a 90s wagon. So yeah, it's kind of like a more practical Celica GT4. On the outside, the GT-T keeps things pretty subtle, but there are touches of sportiness here. You've got a more aggressive and honestly kind of weird front bumper, side skirts, a rear spoiler, and 15-inch alloy wheels. This was never sold in the US, but that hasn't stopped it from building a serious cult following. It's got sleeper vibes, JDM charm, and I'm hoping Toyota reliability. Okay, so before we do a walk around of my new Caldina GT-T, I first need to fix a few things. First of all, the battery is dead, like really dead. This often happens when cars sit for a while before being loaded onto a cargo ship, and then they sit for several weeks on the boat. By the time the car is unloaded, the battery is usually toast. So let's go swap that out. And unfortunately, I just realized this, the terminals on the old battery were a lot smaller than this new one, so I'll have to switch these connectors out as well. And these tires are very old and have some cracks. This Caldina must have sat for a long while before it was shipped to me, so let's get those swapped out as well. Everything looks pretty good. Quite a bit of rust on the rotors. So I got my new tires. They are 205/60/15, and there are pretty much no performance tires that I can find in this size. I just went with this size because I figured, all right, well, why don't I just use the stock wheels for now? If I end up really loving this car, I might upgrade to 16-inch wheels and some better tires. We'll put these on for now. These were pretty inexpensive. General Ultimax RT45. That's what I actually have on my Scirocco, and they're fine. Better than what was on it. I mean, these are cracked, really bad condition. All right, one more thing I've got to do. I have to dump some gas in this thing because the tank is nearly empty, and it's possible that the gas in the car has been sitting for a while. So I'm going to top it off with some high octane fuel, and hopefully it will maybe cancel out the little bit of old gas that's still in the tank and in the fuel lines. All right, so let's do a walk around of my sporty sleeper wagon. I think we need to start right here in the front with this really weird bumper. This piece right here is sort of an addition for the Caldina GT-T. I don't really understand it. I don't really like how it looks, but I'm not gonna take it off because this is the way the car came. I wanna keep it mostly stock, I think. Just need to clean it up a bit. I really like the headlights here. The headlights look pretty rad. I think it's kind of funny that this is a GT-T, but on the front it just says GT. They just didn't get around to adding that other T. Functional hood scoop on the hood. Please don't mind the disgusting dirt everywhere. I need to get this detailed. That will happen soon. I still haven't even had a chance to scrape off all the stuff that came from the auction house. ST215, that's the chassis number right there. But if you've never seen one of these before and you're here in the US, this kind of just looks like a Corolla from another dimension. It has a very simple shape, but I really dig it. Nothing out of the ordinary other than this weird thing. Now these right here are on so many cars that get imported from Japan. I think I'm gonna leave them on because I'm kind of worried what's underneath that. If I pull these off, if it's gonna be a big mess under there. So I'm probably just gonna leave them on. They're in pretty good shape. Look at that cute little spoiler on the back of this wagon. On the back, it actually does have GT-T badges. I like these taillights too. Very late 90s design. It has a rear wiper. A lot of new cars don't give you that. Definitely got a pretty significant tint going on. Can barely even see inside this thing. Got dual exhaust down there. Very dirty. Don't mind all the dirt. We're gonna get this cleaned up at some point. So the only issue that I see right here is that there's a little bit of a scrape on this panel right here. I think that can probably be fixed. I feel like it just needs a clip. Looks like one of the clips broke. All right, let's take a look under the hood. So in general, it looks pretty decent. You can see it's a little bit dirty here and there. I need to get this cleaned up, especially these panels right here under the hood. But yeah, a little bit of a detail I think will be okay. Looks like it's got a brand new alternator. And you know, the thing that you kind of worry about sometimes when you import a car from Japan is rust. And I don't really see any here. There's a tiny bit of surface rust in a few places on some of the hardware, but that's about it. You know, when you get underneath, you really are kind of concerned about that too. It's very clean. All right, let's take a look at the interior. All right, so sitting in the driver's seat of this Caldina GT-T, there are some things here that kind of give you a feel that it's more of an upscale experience than, say, like a Corolla from the era. And I think the main thing is the fabric here. This is definitely some really wacky late 90s looking fabric. I'm actually kind of surprised that they still had some really interesting designs here, as towards the end of the 90s, they were kind of phasing that sort of thing out. But yeah, the seats look really high quality. Look at the center stack here. You got a CD changer, you got automatic climate control. It does have a turbo timer down there. It also has a toll card reader. So when you turn the car on, it's gonna say probably something in Japanese about the card being missing, which is always nice to have that little touch that reminds you that this car was from Japan. So we've got that manual transmission. Gear shift feels really good. Very short throws. A steering wheel that looks like it's right out of a Celica. Gauge cluster that kind of looks like it's from a Corolla or a RAV4 or something like that. But it all kind of comes together in a nice way. All right, let's take a look at the back seat. All right, so I'm in the back of this Caldina GT-T, and I would say that there's a decent amount of space here. It's pretty basic back here, but they did continue that really awesome fabric on the door panels and seats back here as well. And I think the thing that really sets this car apart from other sporty cars from the era is the fact that it's actually a wagon. Lots of space in the back. Let's go check that out. This is kind of a ginormous area right here. Look how much space there is. So much room for activities. Look, they even put a cover. Oh, more storage under there. And yes, there actually is a spare tire here. That's nice. Good to know. Yeah, in really good shape too. I'm surprised that everything in here is just such great condition. But yeah, the seats do fold down, making this very, very large. You could definitely fit a bicycle in here. All right, so far the only time that I've driven this vehicle is driving it onto the U-Haul trailer. So let's take it around the neighborhood and see how it does. Oh yeah, I gotta get on the other side of the car. All right, so my first time driving the Toyota Caldina GT-T. Now it's got a new battery, should start right away. So let's drive this thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I mean, I'm gonna find out everything that's wrong with it too, because you know that it's not gonna just be perfect. No car I ever buy is perfect right off the bat. Accelerating okay. I hear my first weird sound. It just sort of has that metallic sound, kind of scraping sound. And it could be like a brake pad dragging or something on somewhat rusty rotors, which is fine. I kind of thought there would be a few things wrong with this car. But the good news is I did sort of look into parts availability before I bought this thing, and it seems like lots of parts availability, you just have to have a lot of stuff shipped from Japan. In terms of the gearbox feels really good, and everything in here looks beautiful. Like, I'm just looking at the shift knob right now. It looks brand new. Brakes are a little bit squishy as well. I'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, only 71,000 kilometers. It's like barely broken in. Oh, geez. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. Oh, this is gonna be a big problem. This car's too fast. Oh my gosh. I mean, I knew it was gonna be quick, but damn. So far, so good. Temperature is holding steady right there in the middle. We're not overheating. Definitely have to do some basic maintenance though. I don't know when the last time the spark plugs have been changed. I don't know really much about this car. That's the kind of challenge when you buy a car from auction in Japan. Sometimes you don't get any kind of documentation with the car. Now, I paid somebody to inspect the car before I placed the bid, but I didn't fly to Japan and personally inspect the thing. So, you know, I'm relying on somebody else's opinion on the car. So yeah, importing a car from Japan, it is kind of a gamble, but I've been known to gamble a little bit here and there with my car purchases. So the original 0 to 60 time of this car was just over 6 seconds. So yeah, it's pretty quick by 1997 standards. It's pretty quick by today's standards, honestly. Yeah, it does take the turbo a few moments to build up boost, but once it's in boost, it's pretty nuts. Oh geez, this thing is awesome. It handles well. Oh my gosh. This is an addictive car. I can already tell that I'm going to love this car, assuming it doesn't blow up or there's not something insanely wrong with it. But you know, I have pretty bad luck with cars, so it's very possible something is gonna go wrong with this thing. But you know, knock on wood, so far so good. Only a few issues that I can see. And I'll have a mechanic go through the whole thing and really give it a proper inspection. So yeah, basically Celica GT4 in a more practical package. You know, maybe doesn't look as cool, but I think for me, I've got a kid, it'd be nice to put her in the back seat of this thing, lug stuff around. If I want to throw one of my electric bikes in the back, it should fit pretty easily. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this car. I don't know how many times I've said that, but I'm gonna just say it again, pretty excited. So yeah, this video is just kind of my first taste of this car, my first impressions, my first experiences. And once I get to know the car a little bit better, we'll take it on some road trips, take it on some canyon roads, that kind of thing. I am so glad that I imported this car. I mean, I liked my Chaser, but I kind of love this thing. This is definitely more my style than that Chaser was. This is a little bit more under the radar, a little bit more of a sleeper. All right, so there you have it, my latest addition to my fleet, my Caldina GT-T. I'm really looking forward to getting this thing up to speed. Needs some work, needs a few things here and there, but hopefully I can get that sorted out within the next few weeks. It definitely needs a detail. It still looks kind of grungy. Maybe I'll do a video on that next. Anyway, if you got any questions about the car, let me know in the comments below. And what do you think I should do to it? Kind of keep it mostly stock? And honestly, I'm just really looking forward to driving this on some canyon roads and seeing how it does. But first, some basic maintenance that we got to get to before I do any serious driving with this thing. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon. If you want to help support the channel, please buy a Hello Road t-shirt or hat at helloroad.tv/shop. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're well, and I'll see you soon.